Okay, we're running up to record. Nice and quiet now, please, folks. Here we go.
I'm thirsty.
Oh, don't say that.
Hello and welcome to Screaming Goat, sure-footedly guiding you up the cliff face of culture. I'm Kate Soulsby.
And I'm Jerry Sumner. And for the next 45 minutes, we'll be taking you on a journey of discovery through the world of arts and culture.
Coming up on today's show, I'll be interviewing Liz West, an up-and-coming installation artist who uses her collection of Spice Girls memorabilia to fund her colourful artwork.
We have music from Def Kid, who will perform 2 critically praised tracks showcasing their unique electronica pop music.
Resident reviewer Joanna Nastari will be discussing Tate Britain's new exhibition, Art Under Attack, Histories of British Iconoclasm.
For today's Goat Pro Getaway, I'll take you on a visit to Stokes Craft in Bristol, where a group of artistic activists have decided to improve their area with street art.
Jess Eaton turns roadkill into high-fashion garments.
And we'll also be announcing the winner of the Bill Goats Award for achievement in the field of entrepreneurial excellence. But first, let's see what Kate will be doing tomorrow in her Goat Getaway.
On Tuesday's Goat Getaway, we visited Jerry's new home in Birmingham, where she saw the newly built multi-million-pound library and Cadbury World.
And yesterday, Kate travelled to Brighton, where she met a family of artists in the open house. Today, I'll be showing you what I did in Bristol. But where will Kate be visiting tomorrow? Let's take a look at our special Goat Pro camera to see if it will reveal anything. If you think you know, then please tweet us at Screaming Goat TV.
We'll be giving you more hints about tomorrow's Goat Getaway throughout the show. Now, Jess Eaton may have begun her career as a celebrity makeup artist, but has now branched off into something entirely different and unique. Along with Jon Nott, Jess owns EatonNott, a Brighton-based boutique that sells couture made entirely out of roadkill.
It might sound strange, but as you can see, Jess makes incredibly beautiful high-fashion pieces out of ethically sourced dead animals. Her garments are both highly skilled pieces of art and bespoke fashion pieces, and Jess is here today to show us exactly how she makes them. Hi, Jess.
Hello, darling.
So, what is going on?
Well, I had this idea to make clothes out of roadkill, things that die of natural causes, things we eat, anything that society thinks of as rubbish, really, to take and to give it another life. And that's what I've done, and it's become roadkill couture.
Like pigeons?
Pigeons. In the city, you see a lot of birds. They lie around dead on the floor because they've eaten human food. They've got botulism, fallen off their perch and just lie there
Can I
dead.
touch it?
Yeah, go ahead. And that's so pretty, look at that. I mean, and each pigeon has a different pattern. You see there's its wings. Each one has a different pattern. You can easily make that into something beautiful. Doesn't have to be to wear. I make a lot of sculpture that hangs on the walls as well. This is a goose here. That was Eaton, that one. He was actually eaten.
This one was eaten.
He was eaten, yeah, and the person who bought the goose donated the wing.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice for a wedding.
Yeah, I make a lot of bridal stuff, yeah.
This is rats.
This jacket is made out of rats, yeah, that you get from the pet shop to feed giant snakes. You know, you get rabbits, rats, gerbils. And I've got a friend who has lizards, and the lizards don't mind if they eat them without the skins on. So
the lizards eat rats from the pet shop?
Yeah.
Do
I skin them first.
They're not alive when...
No, that's the service that the pet shop does. They're pet food, basically. So they come, if you buy them online, they come frozen. Like, literally like a bag of, you know, yeah.
Bag of chicken fillets?
Yeah, sort of, yeah. This necklace is made up out of pheasants, And I got all of these at the butcher. It's just an alternative to eating chicken. You can get a pheasant. It grew up in the woods, had a natural life, was shot very quickly, and you can buy a whole bird with all the feathers on it, with the wings, and then you have all the bones. You can make something lovely out of the wings. Pheasant wings are beautiful. I use them all the time. And this necklace is made out of the skulls of birds that we've eaten.
I love the little diamonds in them.
Yeah, thank you, lovely.
Very pretty. And this is...
This is one of my sculptural pieces where I've actually created a mannequin to keep your roadkill on. This is what I'm doing these days. And you can... This is a wearable piece. You know, you can... This works really well if you're bald. Yeah, that's quite good. And then you can wear this piece as well. That comes off and that comes off. And when you're not wearing it, you've got a sculpture that just looks nice in your house.
It does, actually.
And
That would be lovely.
I make quite a few pieces like that.
So you've got a shop in Brighton?
We've got a lovely shop in Brighton, yeah. We sell all sorts of weird stuff, not just the Roadkill Couture.
So you can buy all this stuff?
Yep.
How much does your stuff go for?
It starts, the cheapest piece of roadkill that I do is £15, and it's a rabbit tail on a silver chain, and it's very cute. I sell quite a lot of those. Then it goes through the skull necklaces. They start at about £25 up to about £60, depending on how big. And then the sculptures, they go into the thousands. But I do work bespoke with people. I have brides coming in, and we set on a price. Don't worry about the price. We'll always find something in your price range, you know. I like being able to work with people. It's nice.
And you do pets, don't you?
We have a service where we will turn somebody's pet into a skeleton.
So if they didn't want their pet buried or cremated,
they can come to us.
They can come to you, and you can make a nice ornament for their fireplace.
I don't stuff them because it's quite hard to bring back the spark, but I can make you a handbag out of your dog's skin.
Ah, Hugo, watch out.
But we do the skeletons. We've done Jon, my business partner, he's done his dog as a skeleton.
Oh, well.
Kate, wetting yourself over there.
So, these magpie feathers.
Yeah, now this is what I thought. I thought I'd make your piece today out of magpies because I thought I'd make something that the people at home might be able to make for themselves, because I get an awful lot of emails from people saying, I found this dead bird, I don't want it to rot away, it'd be such a shame, how can I preserve it and how can I prepare it? And I'm thinking about doing a few YouTube tutorials actually showing people. So basically what I've done today, what I'm going to do today is something that people can do at home. Yeah. These obviously I've prepared already, because it takes a while for the wings to get stiff like that.
Like,
you have to.
Who gets these stuff for you? Like,
all sorts. You know, people will leave donations in front of our shop.
So, like,
now.
if I was driving down the M40 this morning or this afternoon, and seen something, hired in the boot.
Yeah. Do you know all of our friends? Yeah, they take plastic bags with them everywhere they go now, because they know that in case they find something. Because what a waste otherwise, you know?
But you are actually going to make me a
I'm going to make you something. I mean, obviously, I can't possibly make a normal piece because it takes me weeks, But I'm going to do a piece today that's quite easy, that people at home can do. You can always contact me if you've got questions as well about this sort of thing.
Thank you very much.
And, and I should be able to get it done by the end of the day.
See you soon.
All right, then.
Over to you, Kate.
We'll be back later to see how she's getting on. I don't have a clue what she's making, but if you think you do, then please tweet us at Screaming Goat TV. Now, it's time for... the Daily Goat News. Justin Bieber has part-funded a selfie app called Shots of Me.
Yes, trust Justin Bieber to have legitimised the good old traditional selfie.
To enforce the selfies only rule, you have to take photos using the front-facing camera, and similar to Snapchat, you can only upload photos you've taken with the app. This means the pic you take and upload is an honest reflection of what you are feeling at that moment. What makes Shots of Me unique is that it lacks comments.
Oh, look at that. I love taking selfies, but I hate it when people make soggy comments about them. Talking about soggy comments, the local council introduced a £1,000 fine for buskers in Camden and a 9 p.m. curfew. This was in response to 100 complaints from residents of the area about noise pollution. Unfortunately, protests by musician Billy Bragg and comedian Bill Bailey have failed to stop this law, which stipulates a £19 annual licence fee from any person busking in this borough.
In other news, 2 giant horse-head sculptures based on the mythical beast Kelpies have been built to tower over the Forth and Clyde Canal in Scotland. The sculptures took 7 years to develop and are in their final stages of construction. They measure about 30 metres tall and are a monument to the horse-powered heritage and history of Scotland. The horse heads were designed by public artist Andy Scott and will be open to visitors in April 2014.
Those are some heavy metal horses and some real shit none of us can afford. And now for more shit you can't afford. A Louis Vuitton skateboard going for over £5 grand. I don't suppose real skaters would give a rat's arse about a designer skateboard. But to be fair, whoever will own one of these 3 collectible pieces would probably not be interested in practicing their kick flips on it. But for the real pros, you can get a professional skateboard for less than £100 on the net.
Now it's time for the app of the day. There are an estimated 1.2 billion mobile phone app users worldwide, and that figure is thought to quadruple over the next 4 years.
With over 56 billion app downloads a year, this emerging marketplace is a serious business with an estimated annual turnover of £16 billion.
Because apps can be made by both large corporations and individuals, there's stiff competition in the app marketplace.
Today's app, made by Metro Trains, is an incredibly popular game called Dumb Ways to Die.
Eat medicine that's out of date. Use your private parts as piranha bait. Dumb ways to die.
Dumb Ways to Die, the super cute and ultra violent game for your phone. Dumb Ways to Die started in 2012 in Melbourne, Australia as a public service announcement to promote rail safety. Within 24 hours, the adorably morbid music video had spread like wildfire across social media. The aim of the game is to save the lives of the idiotic animations who constantly put themselves in fatal danger in the most foolish ways. Playing the game is all about quick reflexes. As you progress through the game, it gets faster and harder. It's really silly, super fun, and highly addictive. I love it. I've been singing the theme tune all week, and I especially love the little green guy who dresses up as a moose in hunting season. How dumb is that? Dumb Ways to Die. A sweet, silly game with the blackest sense of humour and a really important message.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Deaf Kid are a London-based band made up of musicians Christopher Lockington and Florian Sauveur. They have already proven their talent by working on rapper Ghost Poet's Mercury Prize-nominated album Peanut Butter Blues and Melancholy Jam.
Towards the end of last year, they released their AA-sided debut single, Talk and Pig, which was critically acclaimed.
Today, Deaf Kid are in the Screaming Goat studio to showcase their electronica pop originality with their first song of the day, Vigilante, which was released in July this year.
See you after the break. Take it away, lads.
Young vigilante, young vigilante. Young vigilante. it when I was a child. Life was binary, friendships were won and lost, playground games for territory. Now I am a man, life seems so complex. At the sign of injustice I would draw combine. Young vigilante, young vigilante. Young vigilante.
This is a big opportunity. Hell yeah! I'm all for that. That is awesome!
Listen, my little furry friend, nothing compares to the ice cold refreshment of a Coors Light. Coors Light. Yeah, the world's most refreshing beer.
Tim, show Joel how everything you touch turns into Skittles.
That's awesome.
Is it awesome? Well, you can't hold your newborn baby boy in your arms. Did you feed and dress yourself this morning? I didn't. Excuse me.
Touch the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Welcome back to Screaming Goat, the only show with arts, music, culture and goat.
I can see that Jess Eaton is still working away at her piece. Looking good, Jess.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, all good? Can't wait.
Me neither. Now, still not sure where I'll be heading off on tomorrow in our goat getaway?
I think I know, but for those of you who don't, here's another sneak peek.
From that clip, I'm not sure anyone could tell where I went.
You're right, that was a bit weird, like. It looked more like a horror film trailer. Have you been doing those zombie films again?
I told you not to bring that up. Anyway, if you think you figured it out, then tweet us at Screaming Goat TV.
Or you can message us through Facebook. Just look for the Screaming Goat.
Or go to our website at www.screaminggoat.tv.
Now, a few weeks ago, I visited an area of Bristol called Stokes Croft, which in the 1970s fell into disrepair and became a notorious red light district. But 7 years ago, a group of local people decided to take things into their own hands. In 2006, a Heritage Lottery Fund grant was given to Stokescroft to revamp the area. In the last 6 years, Stokescroft has become a centre for independent culture. This is mainly due to a community push by activists and artists. Chris Chalkley is one of the people who decided to turn his neighbourhood around, using graffiti art. Chris is the founder and chairman of the People's Republic of Stokescroft, a group that aims to improve the area through art and culture.
For me in particular, and for PRC in particular, it started when we decided to paint a fence just nearby here. And as we were painting it, people kept coming up and saying, "Are you allowed to do that?" And I said, "Well, I should bloody well think so. It's our fence." It was a sort of very short step to thinking, let's actually use the skills of the local community to improve the area.
And there certainly is a lot to see and do here. Landmarks such as Banksy's The Mild Mild West and the recently commissioned Breakdancing Jesus are placed alongside 19th century Byzantine buildings and a China crafting workshop. But the central core of Stokescroft is the Bear Pit, a roundabout subway that used to be a hangout for local street drinkers. In 2011, the People's Republic of Stokescroft transformed this into an outdoor gallery. The current exhibition, How Does an Activist Eat Potatoes?, consists of 50 billboards that look at the sacrifices activists have made to make positive progress in society.
It's a show about activists and activism in order to remind people that you have to stand up, that our civil liberties are currently being eroded at a rate of knots. It's very current. We think civil liberty, we take that for granted. No, it was never handed out, and these people are some of the people who fought hard for our rights, and we need to remember them, and we need to remember we've got to keep an eye on it because they'll take them away in a snap. Yeah.
And what made you actually do a exhibition outside?
Well, a lot of the things we deal with are issues of public space and shared space. The only voice that you see around you is advertising. If you can afford to put up a big billboard saying what you want, which is usually for some commercial purpose, that's fine, you have voice in the city. If you can't afford it, you have no voice. This is completely outrageous. And we're about voice, we're about an alternative to a commercial voice.
There is also scores of businesses, restaurants and shops, all operated and owned by local people in the community. Paco is a restaurant owned by Jen Best, Tom Hunt and Ben Pryor. They won Best Ethical Restaurant in the Observer Food Monthly Awards 2013. They source all their ingredients within 50 miles of Stokescroft. So why is it so important that you only source local and seasonal food?
I think it's important to do it everywhere, but Bristol in particular has got this abundance of incredible produce very all around the city centre, so it's incredibly easy to support the local economy, so there's no reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah. Your business is in Stokescroft. Why does that make it so good for your business being in this area?
It's just an incredible stretch of independent businesses, and everyone has a really strong consciousness of their actions. It's all, I think it makes a difference that they're all independent, so it's not like big chains who are like minds on the profit or something.
And the food is great too. In British tapas style, the food only costs between £3 and £5 and designed for sharing. So, if you want to step outside of a gallery and go somewhere more socially challenging and positively engaging, then Stokescroft is definitely worth a visit.
How Does an Activist Eat Potatoes will be on in the Bear Pit until the end of November. Now, it's time to see how Jess Eaton is getting on with the Roadkill Couture piece she's making for us. Jerry?
Jess has really made progress since I last saw her. Her couture garment definitely doesn't look like roadkill now. Hi.
Hi, darling.
Again. So, you've now...
I've
Put
joined
this
them
together?
Yeah, I've joined them together. And to get to this stage, first of all, obviously, when you find a dead animal, the wings are all floppy.
Yeah.
So to get this wing has been stretched out. So what I've done is I've removed the flesh from the inside of the wings. It's very important. You remove all the flesh from inside, wash it thoroughly with warm soapy water, blow dry it so it looks beautiful, then pin it out. Pin it, I usually do it on polystyrene because that lets the pins, you pin it out in the shape that you want it. And if you leave it for a couple of weeks, it'll go hard like that. So then all the ligaments and everything in there, they've gone hard.
So that's why it gets...
That's one wing, just like that. Now here's a pair of wings, and now I've attached them together. Now you can do that with wire. Here I've used cable ties, because that's a really easy way to do it. It goes through the dry skin quite easily. You can preserve that. Once it's dry, you can preserve it a little bit more with either with chemicals or with salt is also good. The main thing is getting it dry. So snip those cable ties off. And it's almost like a butterfly shape now. Yeah. So I shall be attaching that.
I can't wait for this.
I shall be attaching that to something that we can then use as a hat.
Over to you, Kate.
Now it's time for our Bill Goats Award for Achievement in the field of entrepreneurial excellence. Today we're profiling Jamal Edwards, who is now one of the most successful people to make a career for himself on YouTube and is estimated to be worth £8 million. Jamal Edwards was only 15 years old when he decided to film local rappers and MCs on his West London estate with a small camcorder he got as a birthday present from his mum.
As grime music wasn't yet mainstream, he became the go-to guy for promoting this emerging genre and branded all of his videos with his company logo, SBTV.
This branding helped him develop an identity on YouTube, and he quickly gained a following of music-savvy viewers.
Jamal branched off into acoustic music and helped break many artists, including Ed Sheeran, into the mainstream.
Jamal continues to scour the streets for new talent, and this year presented some of them at his own strand of the Manchester International Festival.
From the streets of Acton to hanging out with the Prince of Wales, this is why Jamal Edwards is our Bill Goats Award winner.
From one unique entrepreneur to another, Liz West, owner of the largest collection of Spice Girls memorabilia in the world, rents out her spicy stuff to museums in order to fund her very own artwork.
West's installation artwork is based around the psychology of space and colour, and she sources her materials directly from the modern world to reference consumer culture.
And Liz is here with us now. Hello, Liz.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, very well. How are you?
Good.
Good, good. Thanks for being with us today.
Pleasure.
So let's begin with, how did you start your Spice Girls collection?
Well, I was 11 years old when they came out with Wannabe in '96, and I think I was quite an impressionable age then. I was just hooked straight away. I remember listening to Wannabe on the UK Top 40, and they introduced themselves, and I just thought, wow, you know, so much energy and girl power.
So did you actually start collecting straight away?
Not straight away. I mean, I had the album for Christmas, as I think you probably did as well.
Of course.
And most young girls.
You went to see them?
Went to see them in concert, so I've still got the ticket stubs. But it wasn't until their second album came out that I started backtracking and buying all the singles. And it was from then that I thought, yeah, I'm a collector.
Wow. So you've got the largest collection in the world. That's got to be quite, in the Guinness World, that's amazing. That's got to be quite a lot of stuff. How is it kind of a gradual thing, or did you kind of one day just go, right, I want loads of Spice Girls stuff now?
My way of showing my fandom was to have a biggest collection in the world. Naively, when I was, 13, I thought I had. And there was me, at home in South Yorkshire with this one cardboard box thinking I was the world's biggest. Obviously, I wasn't. But for me, it brought me closer to the girls in terms of being a fan.
Have you met them?
I've met 3 of the 5.
Which 3?
The 2 Melanies and Emma.
So you need to meet Victoria.
And Jerry.
Hi. Oh, you've met me. I'll just pretend it's Jerry. Girl power.
So have you got a favourite? Have you got a favourite Spice Girl?
Choosing would be like choosing your favourite child. Now, I haven't got children, but I can imagine that's what it would be like.
Fair enough, fair enough.
But Mel C has sent me a tracksuit, so,
Really?
Wow. And you've got some of the stuff here with you today, haven't you? Talk us through a few items on the table.
Some of these things come from different countries, not just the UK. Quite a lot of them were mass-produced or endorsed by the Spice Girls at the height of their fame. You know, they put their name to everything, to the Polaroid, to Impulse, to Pepsi, Walker's Crisps, Cadbury's.
I had that body spray, did you?
No.
The Impulse. Oh, did you not?
No.
Oh, got it.
I hardly had any of it.
Oh!
Yes.
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 Yeah,
The
who
Spice
did you
Girls,
have?
the
Who
movie
did you
tin.
have? Oh, but you've got all of them.
I originally bought Mel B when I was in Our Price, remember Our Price? You know, I chose the Mel B one, but because I liked them all, I remember just standing there going,
Did you get a tin?
No.
Oh.
So let's move on to your artwork now. So
Yeah.
it's installation art that,
It is
that
indeed,
you
yeah.
produce. And tell me how you first got involved in installation art.
both my parents are artists, so I've always been,
Wow.
there we go, got interested in it. You know, I went to art school, went to Glasgow School of Art, so it was just a natural thing for me to progress to finally becoming an artist. And I don't think it's a decision that one day you make and go, I'm going to be an artist. You just are.
You just are. And
You just are.
Fall into it, and
You know, it's something that some people have said to me, oh, I went to my first preview when I was 19. What?
Can
You know,
you
I was
explain
taken
this
to one
piece?
as a little girl.
This piece, yeah.
Yeah. That's called Yellow Chamber. So it's a small, tiny slit in a wall.
And you look through it.
Press your face up against it, and beyond that crack, there's a mirrored cube with purely coloured yellow objects on the bottom and lit from above. And it just looks like it's never ending. That's my fiancé. Keeping it in the family.
What, so you look through this slit and that
It's
picture
like-
that we saw before,
Yeah,
that's what
that's
you see in there. And
inside
it's
it.
just in that, but it looked that big.
But actually, it's
an
only
illusion.
It's only as big as the
total
slit, top to bottom. But being an illusion, it just looks like it's going on forever and ever.
That's cool. That's really cool.
So you love colours. Like, tell us why, like, you love rainbows and.
Well, who doesn't love a rainbow?
Everyone loves rainbows.
rainbows.
I think that it's a feel-good factor. From a very young age, I was interested in them. And I think that's probably why I like the Spice Girls as well, because they were really colourful, kitsch, you know. And look, I mean, look at that. It's an array of colour. I remember collecting nail varnishes when I was a little girl and arranging them along my bedroom windowsill in the colour order.
The colours of the world.
Colours of the world. But I just think that it's something that's been in me and obviously came through in my art practice since graduating.
I love your trolleys.
Do you?
I love
Can you imagine
I think
doing
we've seen
that?
a red one. There you go, orange.
Jerry wanted to know, what did you want to
I
ask?
wanted to know if in the red trolley you had any baby bells.
I don't think I did actually.
I was trying to think of everything red in a supermarket.
That is
Sadly, we had to ask permission from the supermarket to go around and do it. But for me, this was a performance piece where I went around and used the shopping basket to fill a block of colour and see what that was like.
Have you done it in all different colours, or is it just them 3 colours?
I've done it in 6, so all the
6.
primaries and all the secondary colours.
Cool. So apart from rainbows and things, is there anything else that your artwork is based on?
It's based upon being totally immersed in colourful light. I mean, I've got seasonal affective disorder, so in the winter I get quite low. So basically, I'm making my own light boxes. So I hate the word art therapy, and I don't even know why I said that. But it's a way to make me feel better, I would say.
Yeah.
But when you're a viewer coming into my work in a gallery or in a warehouse or wherever it might be, I want the viewers to have that same kind of wow feeling that I get when I switch on my lights.
Yeah.
Wow. So whereabouts can you see these exhibitions at the minute? Is there
Keep an eye on my website.
on your website?
Yes.
Okay.
Details, I'm sure, are on your website, so
Yeah,
you
they're
can
great.
link to it. But I've always got something on somewhere. At the moment, I'm exhibiting in Manchester at the Victoria Warehouse Hotel, which is part of the Warehouse Project, which is a big club night, which is...
Yeah.
You've heard of that?
Warehouse Project, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So that's illuminating one of the windows in the hotel really brightly for all the passers-by to see.
Wow.
But anyone who's really interested is welcome to do a studio visit And my studio is based right near Manchester Piccadilly Station.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Liz.
Thank you.
So, which Spice Girl is your favourite kid?
My favourite was probably Sporty Spice. Jerry, what's your favourite Spice Girl?
So you didn't get a tin, or you didn't get the deodorant?
No.
No, nothing?
No. Can I have your tin?
Of course you can.
Thanks.
Of course you can.
Now it's time for another commercial break. But when we come back, we'll be seeing how Joanna got on at the Tate Britain.
Jess will reveal her bespoke garment.
And Deaf Kid will play us another electronic hit.
See you after the break.
This is a big opportunity. Hell yeah! I'm all for that.
That is awesome.
That's it. Finished.
Listen, my little furry friend, nothing compares to the ice cold refreshment of a Coors Light. Coors Light. Yeah, the world's most refreshing beer.
Tim, show Joel how everything you touch turns into Skittles.
That's awesome.
Is it awesome? Well, you can't hold your newborn baby boy in your arms. Did you feed and dress yourself this morning? I didn't. Excuse me.
Touch the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
Welcome back to Screaming Goat. Ah! As you can see, Jess Eaton is just putting the finishing touches on her Roadkill Couture item that I will be soon wearing. Looking good, Jess.
Thanks, Joanna.
But before that, Joanna will be telling Kate what she thought of Tate Britain's new exhibition, Art Under Attack.
Hello, Joanna. So Art Under Attack is the very first exhibition of its kind because it focuses on intentional destruction of art. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so it's quite an exciting concept. It sort of goes through British history, starting about sort of 1200s, right through to now. And it looks at how people have defaced and destroyed works of art. And at the beginning of the exhibition, to be honest, it's mostly religious paintings and statues, because when the church changed or the sort of mainstream religion changed, then people wanted to sort of like, if they agreed with it or disagreed with it, then there'd be a sort of outpour of sort of rage and people would destroy those things. And it's quite exciting because I think that there's a lot of history written about the monarchs at the time and sort of people in power, but not that much written about sort of the people who lived in the country. And the sort of destroyed artwork gives you sort of insight into that, which is quite exciting. So there might be statues of kings and things that were sort of broken down and melted, and then people might keep little pieces of that because they secretly were fans of that particular monarch. Right. And so it tells you a lot about our history in that sense. I thought there was some really cool like coins throughout different times in our history, and people had engraved messages into them, like off with their heads and things like that, which seems like a really kind of tiny sort of like squeak of rebellion, but really is quite nice because people would pass them amongst each other, and so that message would be passed around. So yeah, it was quite cool. And also it's anonymous, I guess, in a sense, because sort of treason was punishable by death then.
Yeah, I was going to say, because that is illegal, isn't it, doing things like that?
Yeah, so people would be, you know, exactly like executed for doing things like that. So I guess it was the graffiti of their time, in that sense. Yeah, and it went right through up to the modern day, and I thought it was like a little bit dry, because some of this was like really exciting, sort of like revolutionary stuff, and it was presented in sort of like quite a sort of dry way. But as you get towards the end of the exhibition, was sort of my favourite bits, where they showed the suffragettes, and there was a whole sort of section on them and what they did and how they would attack and destroy really valuable and really important works of art in British galleries, and as sort of like a symbol for how it doesn't matter what these sort of old relics, if they've got any worth, what's really valuable are the people that live in this country, and how 50% of their population aren't really being recognised as having rights.
Brilliant. So tell us a bit about this picture on the screen.
Yeah, so this is a piece of sort of modern art included in the exhibition, and at the time that it was exhibited in 1969, people were really sort of upset by it, because they said that it was sort of like misogynistic and just sex, and people went on and they poured paint stripper onto the face of the sculpture, as a sort of act of vandalism to show sort of how upset they were by it. This has been now reconstructed, but in the exhibition they show you a picture of sort of how it had been vandalised and then how it had been restored. There was one really sort of quite sad and quite haunting form of vandalism, where there were paintings, portraits of people, and they had no one to give them to, so they didn't have any family to inherit them, and nobody wanted them. And so somebody painted over them and turned them into sort of rotting corpses and skulls. And it seemed like a really long time to spend over sort of defacing something in a really kind of haunting way.
So this is the destruction of a piano. Can you talk us through this?
I don't remember seeing this in the exhibition.
Okay, so we'll move swiftly on. The other thing I wanted to ask you was, what does iconoclasm actually mean?
It just means the destruction of a work of art or a piece of sort of like religious iconography. So the exhibition is quite exciting, and there's a sort of last bit which they show how people deconstruct art intentionally. So there are lots of artists that now employ deconstruction in their work. So they might destroy something and then reassemble it, or they might use, for example, one piece which is quite famous is Cut Piece by Yoko Ono, which is a piece of performance art where she lay down a pair of scissors and invites the public to cut away her clothes. And there's a video of this in the exhibition, and it was quite controversial at its time, and it was quite moving to see someone suddenly made vulnerable and their clothes sort of cut away, because it is an act of violence, and it's quite an intimate thing to do, and so it can be used in quite an exciting way.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you very much for being with us today, Joanna.
Thank you.
Now, Jerry is still with Jess Eaton, who has been working on one of her acclaimed Roadkill Couture fashion pieces for the last 35 minutes. She should almost be done now, so let's see if she's ready to reveal her couture garment made from dead animals.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm having so much fun over here. Maybe shouldn't do that. So you've actually completed this hairband.
I have, darling. I have. It's all ready for you.
Can I try it out?
Yes, you may. Let me just put your hair to one side a bit. Okay, here we go. Straight on?
Yeah.
Is that comfy?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Has any celebrities wore your stuff?
Yeah, a few. I've had Kate Moss and a few other people in
Kate
my
Moss?
stuff. Yeah.
So me and Kate Moss have now got a lot in common.
Mm-hmm. Looks good, babe.
Thank you. I feel nervous. Kate, how do I look?
You look lovely, Jerry. Magpie for a magpie.
Thank you.
Now, it's almost time for Deaf Kid to play us out of the show. But before they do, let's reveal where I'll be visiting tomorrow for the Goat Getaway.
Wait a minute. Is that Margate?
Yep, it is.
What on earth is there to do in bloody Margate?
There's plenty to do, Jerry. And you'll find out tomorrow. Melting buildings, the Turner Gallery, the Pie Factory, and Dreamland.
Okay, I believe you.
So if you think Margate is a great place for arts and culture, tweet us at Screaming Goat TV, or go to our Screaming Goat Facebook page. That hat is pretty cool, mate, but I think it'd look better on me.
Anyway, I still can't get over the fact that we got to see all that Spice Girl stuff.
I'm still annoyed that I never got a Spice World tin.
Don't worry, you're getting mine.
And you got to see a Banksy in Bristol, and now you're wearing Roadkill Couture.
Well, what can I say? If you want to find out more about any of our contributors today, please visit our website at www.screamandgoat.tv.
But before we go, we still have a performance by Deaf Kid.
Deaf Kid, also known as Chris and Flo, released their debut single towards the end of 2012.
And so, to end the show, they will play Pig, which was critically acclaimed by NME.
But before they do that, we'd like to just say thank you to all our contributors today.
On tomorrow's show, Kira Rathbone will be here to demonstrate her unique typewriter art, and we'll have much, much more.
But now it's over to Deaf Kid with Pig. Goodbye.
Bye.
creating us a new religion. They formed a man with strange intentions, a predator too scared to mention. When the sun goes down,
YouTube.
They're for them. They're for the channel.
What channel?
The uni, whatever.
Okay, let's stand by the
right.
Quiet on the studio floor. Thank you, folks.
I don't know.
All right.
Should we share one of our magpies with us?
Very good. Let's stand by then. Let's stand by and shoot this. Here we go. We have a director in the gallery, please.
What are you talking about?
You're like, what are you talking about? Wow. Does it look funny when I was like, what are Hugo?
Join us tomorrow here on Screaming Goat to get... Oh, sorry.
Once again, here we go. On the top, please.
Join us tomorrow here on Screaming Goat. Is there meant to be a comma there? Join us tomorrow here on Screaming Goat to get the last bit.
Yeah, to get the last bit of your goat, to get the last bit of goat in your life.
So
right, here we go.
No
comma is meant to be.
In 5,
There's meant
4,
to be.
3.
Join us tomorrow here on Screaming Goat to get a last bit of goat in your life.
We'll find out how art is driving the...
Restoration.
Can someone really...
One of Britain's oldest seaside resorts.
Restoration
On
of...
the top, please. Restoration.
Of one of the...
Right, here we go. 5, 4, 3.
Join us tomorrow here on Screaming Goat to get a last bit of goat in your life.
We'll find out how art is driving the restoration of one of Britain's oldest seaside resorts.
We'll be joined by typewriter artist Kira Rathbone
and young photographer of the year, Rob Stothard. We'll be Who? Who? Stothard. Yeah. Will be talking to us about the life of a press photographer. So you really don't know how to find that. Coming to you live tomorrow, Friday the 15th of November at 5 p.m.
See you then.
Awesome.
Right,
Thank you.
Top, here we go.
Thank
See
you.
now. All right, here we go.
Restoration.
Back from the top. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3.
Join us tomorrow here on Screaming Goat to get a last bit of goat in your life.
We'll find out how art is driving the restoration of one of Britain's oldest seaside resorts.
We'll be joined by typewriter artist Kira Rathbone
And Young Photographer of the Year, Rob Stothard, will be talking to us about the life of a press photographer.
So, you really don't want to miss the final episode of Screaming Goat.
Coming to you live tomorrow, Friday the 15th of November at 5 p.m.
See you then.
Haven't cut there.